waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cruel love. Body on my, losing all my innocence. Yeah, body on my, finding all my innocence. Yeah, body on my, losing all my innocence.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Training Tip Tuesday video. This is like the first official sit down portion that I've ever recorded for this new series, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I had a lot of you reach out to me with tons of ideas, topics you would like me to talk about, and things you guys just had questions on. Now, one of the most common questions I get, which is also kind of one that's like hard to answer because it is very like specific for each person and each person's goals, but it's how to create a program for yourself and how to figure out how many sets and reps to do and how to pair exercises together. So I figured I would go over that today. It is going to be a pretty broad overview of it just because of what I already said, the fact that it is very personal to your goals. And everyone's goals are different, everyone's bodies respond differently. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, this is exactly what you should do when I don't know who I'm exactly talking to and what your goals are. But with all that being said, let's get into it. First things first, I do want to start off by saying I do highly recommend talking to some kind of fitness professional, whether you're actually working directly with a coach or just reaching out to someone who has a little bit more experience and be like, these are my goals. Just basically to make sure you start off on the right note, especially if you're someone who is not familiar with the gym and isn't familiar with working out. I think it's amazing to talk to a professional or just someone who has more experience so they can help guide you in the right direction. And if you're working with a coach directly, I think that's amazing. Obviously, they're going to be able to help you to the best of their abilities. They're going to work directly with you to help you reach your goals in the most productive way. And you're going to have like a little cheerleader by your side, which as far as fitness goes, it's nice to have sometimes. Even for myself, I love going and working out with my group in the morning. It helps hold me accountable. There are so many mornings where if I wasn't working out with them, I'd wake up and be like, don't want to go today. But the fact that I know I have other people there waiting on me, not really, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not just going to ditch them. I'm going to go and work out with them and it's going to be great. So having someone to help hold you accountable and just kind of be there by your side is a big help. And then for the obvious reasons of actually having a program to follow that is specific for your needs, that was created by someone who knows what they're doing, is huge. So just wanted to throw that out there. You do not need a coach, but I do recommend it, especially if you are someone who really doesn't have any idea what they're doing in the gym, which is okay. We're not all professionals in every single aspect of our life. It's okay to ask for help sometimes. But with that being said, the number one thing you need to do before starting to do anything in the gym is figure out what your goals are. Do you want to be able to deadlift a certain amount of weight? Do you want to squat a certain amount of weight? Do you want bigger shoulders? Do you want to grow your bum? What are your goals? Do you want to run a marathon? You know, your program is going to be completely different depending on what your goals are. If you're just looking to get a little toned, I hate that word, but regardless, I know a lot of people, that's how they voice their opinion with how they want to change their bodies. They want to be toned. So depending on your goals, your program is going to be completely different. I told you this was going to be an overview, but the basics as far as sets and reps depending on what your goals are. Strength training, you're most likely staying under 10 reps, and like I said, you're working closer to your 1 rep max. Hypertrophy training, which is mostly what bodybuilders do, that's what I do myself. Now that I work out with Jake, I do a little bit more of like cross training where it's like strength conditioning. So we definitely have higher intensity workouts where it seems more like endurance training, but I'm always working with heavy weights to always make sure I'm building muscle, because shoulder gains, booty gains, leg gains, I need all the gains currently. And the higher intensity workouts where we have higher reps of exercises help to really get your heart rate up. You're sweating, you're burning fat while building muscle. It's fabulous. So yeah, hypertrophy training, you're gonna be staying between generally 3 to 5 sets of like 10 to 12 reps, and then endurance training, you're gonna have even higher reps than that. So that is a basic overview depending on what your goals are. As far as how much training is too much or not enough, that is going to be very specific for each individual person. How long you've been training, what your history is, if you have any injuries, how many days a week you're training, you know, it's gonna be very specific. But if you're someone who is training 5 to 6 days a week, no matter what, every single person, you need a rest day, especially if you're working hard in the gym. Your body needs time to recover and rebuild that muscle that you're breaking down. You need rest. Taking rest days is not bad. It's very necessary, actually. You can overtrain and you don't want to do that. You'll stop seeing progress in the gym. You're gonna be super fatigued. You're not gonna be able to sleep. Your digestion can get thrown off. There's a lot of negative results from overtraining, which your body would tell you. You would start having symptoms of overtraining and you would feel like you need to rest because your body would be telling you, hey, I'm dying over here. Like, give me a break. So, overtraining, your body will tell you. You're gonna have symptoms, like I just said. Myself personally, I've always lifted between 5 to 6 days a week. 2 off days works great for me. The only reason I don't have 2 right now is because when I started working out with Jake, we realized that my triceps were pretty underdeveloped in comparison to the rest of my body. So we took Wednesday and turned it into just triceps instead of having that be an off day. So now I lift shoulders Monday, hamstrings and glutes on Tuesday, triceps alone on Wednesday, back and biceps Thursday, quads and glutes Friday, chest and triceps on Saturday. That Saturday will normally be heavier on the chest side because we've already trained triceps that week, but we do hit triceps with some of the exercises we do. So I'm always kind of hitting triceps twice, which has helped majorly improve my triceps and bring them up so I'm in balance with the rest of my body. Because every person is so different and depending on your goals, everyone's program is gonna vary. But a good rule of thumb is to be in the gym, or like specifically lifting, for 45 minutes to an hour. I do some additional cardio, so I'm never in the gym more than an hour and a half, like actually working. If I'm talking, that's another story. But I normally warm up for like 20 to 30 minutes and then I am lifting for average an hour. And that is kind of a good rule of thumb. If you're in there for 2 hours lifting, there's really just no need for that, and your body's gonna need way more time to recover. In my personal opinion, if you're in the gym for that long, you're either not being productive with your lifts, so you're taking too long in between sets, which is not as effective, or you're doing too many exercises to the point where you are overtraining. So I always say an hour, between like, you can really get a solid workout, even as low as 20 minutes. I wouldn't do that daily, but between 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, those are probably good windows to kind of gauge, like, if you finish your workout between that 45-minute mark and hour 15, I would say you're good. You're probably doing a good amount of training. Now, as far as when to pair exercises together and how to pair them together, it's gonna go back to what you're doing and what your training split is like. If you have full body days, you're not gonna be able to hit each muscle group very much because you have to train all of your muscles. So you'll probably only do like 1 to 2 exercises per muscle group. You could always do like 1 exercise for shoulders specifically and then do a superset where you're pairing a shoulder exercise with like a bicep curl or something like that. Like you can combine any exercise to help fatigue your muscles a little bit more and help ramp up the intensity a little bit, but you definitely don't have to. Supersets are just a nice way to ramp up the intensity, like I said, and also kind of fit more volume into your workouts. So supersets, compound sets, you can always incorporate into your workouts. I mentioned this in one of my other videos. Supersets, you're combining 2 different muscle groups, and compound sets, you're doing 2 exercises for the same muscle group. So those are great to combine. If you're doing a full body workout, you could definitely combine shoulders with arms or shoulders with legs, like doing thrusters or something like that. I would just say keep your workout between 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, just to make sure you're not overtraining or undertraining consistently. For the kind of training I've been doing recently, Jake has us do basically 4 to 5 supersets each day. Shoulder day is a little bit different because I told you I've had some issues with my shoulder, and that is more of like a strictly hypertrophy day, slow and controlled, just making sure we're not doing anything that will injure my shoulder, and we're just working on really strengthening it and building that muscle. But we normally have 4 to 5 supersets, and that takes us through the entire hour. Sometimes there'll be, he calls them monster sets, where it's more than 2 exercises, but that's generally what we do. So our heart rate stays up the entire time because we're always pairing exercises together. I hope that was helpful. I realize this is kind of a hard topic to talk about on here because you guys probably have very, very, very different goals, and it's hard to kind of give, like, it's not hard, it's impossible to give a blanket statement of how you should be training, what your program should look like, without actually talking with you and having your goals in mind and like your prior lifting history or just your exercise history, if you've had any injuries. Like, there's a lot that goes into creating a program, and that's why I do think it is a great idea to at least reach out to someone. You don't have to have like a one-on-one coach who you're working with all the time, or a personal trainer who you lift with every single time, but just having someone who can guide you in the right direction and make sure you're not wasting your time in the gym, basically. Any time spent in the gym, I do like to think is good time, as long as you're being productive. Being active is the main goal here, but if you have very specific goals, I definitely would reach out to someone if you don't know exactly what you're doing in the gym, which, like I said, is fine. We can't know everything and be professionals at everything, so it's always okay to ask for help, and especially with something that if you have a specific goal, it's encouraged to ask for help. That is it for the video. I will see you guys in the next one, possibly a vlog. Who knows? I had you guys also give me a lot of other like video ideas, couple challenges, food challenges, other fun topic videos. So comment down below if you have any other ones, but you might be seeing some fun videos here coming up, or just videos that are different than vlogs, because I got a lot of ideas for you guys.
Love to see you shine in the night like a diamond you are.